Um, but as I asked last time, we're gonna start off with small introductions. Basically, your name, or the name that we call you by, or you want to be called by, um, your character name, and then your class. And how do you how do you guys want to introduce yourself? By what order? I mean.
I can do mine
Okay.
first.
Okay. I was
Awesome.
gonna say the order at the bottom. That also works.
Yes.
Anyways, since Alice wants to go first, go ahead.
Yep, my real name is Danny, and I play the character Alice Giant Herder, who is the daughter of my very first character from Cass's campaign, Crom, and she is a moon druid.
Awesome.
And recording.
End the record. Now I'm kidding. I'll just cut it up in pieces. It'll be easier
Okay.
that way.
Okay.
Who wants to go next?
All right, I'll go next. My name is Ryan. I'm stupid and play bards.
Is that your introduction?
No, I'm just kidding. My name is Rob. I play the character Severe, who is an Eldritch Knight, and I wrote a little description if you would like it.
Yeah,
But
sure.
okay, so all right, I got you. It's a Severe is a slender man, usually shrouded by a cloak, who favors a sword and shield as his weapon. In the light, you can see the blue and black intermittent scales flash across his face and arms. His green eyes always dart around, looking at his surroundings, and his forked tongue quickly flickers from within his mouth as he scours the land, searching for his stolen family heirloom. So that's what I got.
I didn't expect that.
Damn, son.
Damn.
You know what? Fucking Snake Wizard, take my inspiration that I got. It's yours this week.
Right, sick.
All right. Shiro and Mana, who wants to go first?
I can go.
All right.
Hi, my name's William. Or Will. I am playing the character Shiro slash Kuro. He has like a split personality, so he'll swap between two very distinct personalities. One being more all like holier than thou, righteous sort of person, while the other one is very much selfish and all about himself and kind of moody. Um, when they swap personalities, they switch domains from like their cleric domains. So I have Shiro is the light domain, and Kuro is what did I pick? Death. A death domain. Um, yeah, and they basically just always are wearing a Crusader helmet that seems to never be able to come off. Yeah. I'm gonna
Even when
be
he's
going
naked.
crazy people.
All right. Lastly, up on the list is Mana.
Oh yeah, true. Praise the sun.
Uh, all right. My name is Trevor. I am currently playing a Death Domain cleric. Uh, and part of the I guess the goth troop we have going on here. And I also have a short description written here. Hopefully, it's not too long. uh, she seems frail, her body almost skin and bone, hidden beneath a dark, elegant gown. Its skirt now caked in dirt due to its absurd and torn length. Upon closer inspection, one would note her discolored complexion, an unsightly pale hue, as if she managed to escape the sun for several years. Her musculature would remain inflexible, with crude scars causing her joints to stiffen and lock when under duress, and forcing her to move rather strangely. Ominous signs appear to follow her. like insects to a cadaver in its early stages of decomposition. In fact, if she were to remain still for long enough, one might confuse her appearance for that of a walking corpse. And that's her
Wow.
character.
Very
Way to go
cool.
ahead and upstage me. Nice one.
Very
Good job.
I
cool.
had one. I had this prepared for so long.
Yes, she did. But yep, that's pretty much it. I'll just have to ask the rest of the guys that are joining to record it off the session and just maybe edit it in. Otherwise, yep, that's pretty much it. Recap time. So last time, just to recap, I guess mostly Rob. You guys were released from prison. Shiro went back in to talk to Timmy, who was very afraid of the little girl. Although he was just kind of just staying away for the most part. Eventually, you were back out on the streets. You were given some money to prepare, per se, and told that you would be given a note that would appear in front of you, almost like a fireball kind of deal. They call those notes pyra, or fire paper, which can appear anywhere as long as the person can be tracked within the same realm. You were told that you will be given this in the case that a rumor would arrive with regards to these artifacts that you're meant to be collecting. As you were given the money, you guys basically started to explore a bit of Plonuk, getting some supplies, and for the most part, I think it was shields that you guys bought. Since most of you are spellcasters, which is pretty cool. Afterwards, you went out towards the outer sections of Plonuk, where you bought a scarab. A scarab which had a powerful ballista. Although, you may have forgotten just a slight bit to buy some bolts for it, leaving you with a single ballista bolt.
We didn't forget we had no money.
That as well. But immediately after you guys had collected most of your stuff, you went out into the open sands to head off, not towards Blackheart, but off in some longer distance away, towards Ashid, a small kind of desert city beside large mountains, where out in the open sands you were attacked by what looked like dragon-like creatures who were protecting a large egg, to which you quickly dispatched of. Also managed to speak to the Beliscarab, who turns out his name was Ryder, and he very much so liked the egg that was cracked open. And that is pretty much it from the last session, where we now start our very own out in the open sands while you make your way towards Ashid.
I may have missed it, but the purpose of going to our destination was what again?
Absolutely nothing.
Nope.
All right, sick.
You were
I'm
just
down
sent
actually.
sent out to the open. You guys decided to go to Ashid, and so here you are.
And that fire paper that you mentioned, that's kind of like our sign that like an artifact has been like kind of discovered, or like its location kind of been like noted, or
Yes, that kind of deal.
okay. Got it.
We were essentially just kind of thrown out of the We were thrown out of the jail, and they said, "Hey, we'll contact you with information, but for now, just do whatever the fuck you want." So we're just traveling.
Yep, exactly what
I got
happened.
it. Do we know about how long it will take us to get to this destination?
You are, from the last time, according to the map that you were given as well, You're just about 3 or 4 days away to reaching Ashid.
Got it.
Although this was where you basically started to camp up in the middle of the open sands while the sun's just blazing down on you. But thankfully, you got a long rest from last time. After defeating, of course, the the dragon-like creatures. Small worms, I guess. Worm? Am I saying that right? Worm?
It's just worm.
I think worms.
Worm.
Yeah, it's pronounced the same way as a worm, like WRM. It's pronounced the same way because English is dumb.
It do be like that sometimes. Anyways, out in the open middle sands, kind of nearing Darslack, is where we begin this session. As you all very slowly wake up to the sound of what sounds like small bells dinging across. If anyone would like to roll me a perception, everyone can roll this if they want.
I shall.
Eep.
Alright. Ah, I see.
Did I roll?
Mana. It's quite hot, and there's a very visible haze out in the open sands. You can barely see anything, but thankfully, you're covered with the tent that you're currently under. Otherwise, your frail skin might just burn up with the heat. Alice and Severe, both of you definitely see something, but Shiro, you on the other hand, just kind of groggy still from after just waking up like a few minutes ago. Alice and Severe, off in the distance, you find what looks to be a long line of people with what looks like camels, just kind of carrying a lot of their stuff. Most of them wearing what looks like this kind of grayish, whitish turban, and a large kind of necklace just glinting across as they make their way towards you, it would seem. And a few moments later, you would see them kind of raise their hands up. Hail! Hail there, friends! You're good people. You don't need to put your hands very close to our faces.
What might be your business?
Just a small stop here, as we saw a small camp and we assumed that there were people, and thankfully there are. We are just here to inform everyone across from Ashid to Saikas to Gorem that there have been sightings of a great worm. Not the small ones, not the juveniles, the big one.
And whereabout would this be? Where was it last sighted?
A few days north of Ashid, in the mountains close to Barkas. And he kind of looks around. Does any one of you carry a map?
We have a map, right?
Do we?
Yes,
We
you
were
do.
handed a map, yes?
Yes,
Okay,
but
yeah.
who would you say that your party? Who among your party would be carrying said map?
I think we gave it to Mana because Mana is been
Oh, yeah, team
indoctrinated
leader.
as the team leader.
Dang, I feel like I would want the map, but I don't think I was here, so fair play.
You can
I
have it
was-
after.
Yes, I was involuntarily selected as leader.
She was. But yes.
Yeah, man. Yeah, takes out the map.
Okay, here, I will point in your map. And he just kind of very slowly walks up to you. Do you just allow him to do so?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it.
How many of them are there exactly?
This guy is the one that basically walked up towards you guys. The rest of them are a bit farther off, maybe like a 5-minute walk away from your camp.
Oh, so it's like just this guy.
Yep, just this guy.
Okay, alright, got it.
Can I see if he's like use insight to see if he's like at all aggressive or he seems to be relaxed?
All right, go ahead.
Okay.
From what you can kind of vibe check on this guy, he looks pretty much like he's telling mostly truth. Although he does seem like he's hiding something.
Haha, friend! Come forth! We are all friendly folk. Much appreciate your help. And Shiro is gonna put his hands on his hips and just kind of laugh. Oh.
And he
So
just
he's
kind
gonna
of
keep an eye on him.
awkwardly also kind of laugh like, this man very strange. Is this your entire group? You small caravan traders maybe?
Well, there are many things that you could call us, but for now you said you needed the map, correct?
Yes, of course. Just to mark out the place where we last saw it, or the
That
news
would be
source.
much appreciated.
Of course, of course. And you see him just kind of walk up towards you now, Mana. He kind of reaches out, asking for the map.
Yeah, Mana's gonna lean forward and just she's gonna keep her hands on the map, but she's just gonna sort of look down at it with him.
And he kind of gives you a small nod and a very sly kind of smile. As I'll put you now on the map. Hopefully it loads up for you guys.
Yep.
Yeah, I see it.
Awesome. But he kind of reaches out towards his pockets, and with this small kind of powder, not really powder, like a small kind of bag, he pulls out a pouch that has this kind of reddish powder off in the side, and he kind of looks at you, Mana, and goes, would you mind? You know what this is in the case. This powder disappears after a few days, but it for the sake of telling you where this is, just so that you know, it'll be easier for your map.
Wouldn't it just easier to point it out?
Yeah, it would be better if you pointed it out.
Okay. And you watch him just kind of putting the pouch back into his like small pockets, and he just kind of points off towards the eastern side of Barkas. He goes, over here. Apparently there were not so much attacks, more so sand storms, which people are very afraid of thanks to the dread worms, specifically the very large ones. If you happen to cross towards Barkas and Koren, you may find yourself in the middle of a storm. So as good people, we would just like to tell you that maybe stay away from that for now.
And
Thank you, friend.
where are the rest of your party traveling to then, if not up there?
Oh, we are making our way towards Darskalak. Blackheart, as some languages call it. The main city these days have a large festival going on.
I think I've seen what you're talking about.
For the most part, you probably, as you see him kind of very visibly staring at the tattoos which you have.
Oh yeah, we still have those, I forgot.
And Shiro and Alice, you both would also notice that this guy, and a few of them actually do have the tattoos as well.
Wait, didn't we get those removed from the or she just lessened to them, right? I guess or
Yes, she basically
okay.
kind of allowed you to cast your magics and whatnot.
Got it. But the I guess the it still shows like the visibility is still there. Then I
Yep.
guess okay.
It
All right,
does
yeah.
not disappear.
Got it.
And as this one just kind of nods its head. But anyways, with that said, I will make my way towards Darslak now with the rest of my group. Be very careful out there in the open sands. These days are very strange for the most part.
We'll
Might
do
we
our
have your
best.
name, good sir?
Sorry, I couldn't hear that. You were overlapping a bit.
Oh, I think my mic's...
I was saying something to him. Sorry, I was blowing my bad.
Go ahead.
What? Wait, me or Cass?
You.
Oh, you go ahead, because we talked over each other. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying. We'll do our best to like be safe.
Yeah, and I asked what his name was, good sir.
And he just gives you a very kind of wide grin. My name is Haflua. But you can call me Half. And we are
Noting this down.
a small caravan that is part of the Goblin Sands, the Brothers of the Goblin Sands.
Oh, he's part of the Goblin Sands? What?
Yes, that is what he tells you. He basically goes,
Oh,
he's part of the Goblin Sands.
sorry, out of character, we got something last week from the Goblin. Did we get a token from him, or did we just tell him the Goblin's name?
He told you guys to tell him the Goblin's name. No, not really. He told you guys that if you ever find anyone, they'd be selling magic items as
okay.
well.
Oh, okay.
But
We yes, the Goblin Sands. We met a small goblin by the name of Revok. Helped him along. Very nice fellow.
of course, Revok. Revok is one of our scouts. They come across the sands ahead of us before we partake in depart rather towards places. So he would be probably in Darsalak already. But if anything else, would you like to trade? Otherwise, we will make our way now.
Very cool. We have no money, friend.
That is a very difficult time, especially for prisoners like us, yes? But don't worry. There's Ashid has plenty of small folk that would like small business. Maybe even tasks performed.
One thing, actually, and Man is going to pull out one of those wormling scales, and she's going to sort of just almost shove it in his face and say, "What do we get for these?"
For those, 5 coppers. Those are very common in the sense. Some people like to use them as covers mostly. Although it could get you a nice meal.
I'm going to insight check.
Go ahead. Yeah, that's just straight up bullshit.
Oh.
I'm going to I'm going to pull out the second scale, and then I'm going to say, well, I suppose there'll be people back in the Ashid who'll be willing to offer us a bit more for these, considering we almost died for them.
Ah, I I can offer you a few silvers for the two.
Silvers. And then she's going to very slowly put them back in her pouch and say, I think we can get a better price elsewhere.
I promise you, is all you'll get is a few small meals. Otherwise, you could take the silvers now and maybe get even more.
So Severe is gonna walk up and put his hand on this guy's shoulder and say, "Listen, friend. You're quite a walk from your friends at this point. You don't want to be scamming folk for no reason now."
And you watch as a kind of nervous smile just grows on his face. Of course, you got me. Businessman is all. Um, to be perfectly honest, you would get probably a few gold. 2, 3 pieces. But
I
that is
like the way you do business. And then
Of
Severe's
course.
gonna go back to his scare.
out in the open sands. It's what you can do. Although,
Of course.
with a small caravan, I don't think we would buy that with simply gold. So you can keep that as you'd like. You watch now as he kind of tips his kind of head forwards towards you guys. But no trade will happen here, I suppose. If so, I would like to make my way back to my caravan and then head off towards the capital.
Ride
Goodbye.
safely.
And he just kind of
Take
nods.
care.
And to you too, Metalhead. As he now walks off back towards his caravan, you see them kind of ding their bells once again and starts moving off towards Darslack, or where you would think now is Darslack. And as a few moments would pass, with now the empty sands before you, you're now left with this small little camp that you have. What do you guys do?
And Severe's gonna turn to Shiro and say, "An interesting character, Metalhead."
Who, me?
No, that fellow. I think the name is going to stick.
Oh, yeah, no, he seemed like a real stand-up guy. Shall we continue forth? I don't actually know what we're doing here, but dally forth.
I'd like to get to civilization.
All right.
Can we, like, gather up our supplies and continue forward?
Yep. Speaking of supplies, how much food do you guys have left?
We got more rations because we butchered the dragonling spawns or whatever they were.
Did I make you guys roll survival for that last time?
Yes, I rolled for it. Pretty sure.
Let me just
Yeah.
scroll up. Oh yes. Alice and Mana did it. Although Mana did it 3 times. 4 times.
It's
Where did we end? Where did we
it-
end before I could roll survival?
I think you didn't roll.
Okay. Did. Oh well.
Is it just one meal to keep exhaustion off, or?
For the meals and food and whatnot, your character basically needs 2 pounds of food per day
Got it.
and 1 full water skin, double the amount if it's hot, which it is. But thankfully, I think last time we established that water won't be too bad.
Yeah, because our druid can just summon water.
Yep.
But the real thing is just so much more natural.
All right. Including with the scales, I don't think I gave Mana the number for how much extra food that she got from that. So I will roll that now. After cutting up a few of those kind of wormlings from the other day, you got a total of 2 pounds worth of food.
So for one person?
Yes, 2 for each of all of you, basically. That was a lot of them. Which should put you up to 15. How much food do you guys have?
How much are we ruling the rations are? Because I don't know if there's a weight for the rations.
I have 12 on mine.
I have 10 because I gave some away.
I should have 20. But if I would have eaten technically last time, so I would have 18 then. Well, if we're ruling one ration is a pound.
A ration is 3 pounds, though.
well, then I would have like 19.
Yes. So everyone should be at a still decent rate. And now that you have everything basically packed up and you start making your way towards the large beetle, Alice, since you are the more animal handling type, you begin to notice that as you all kind of make your way back towards Ryder, he looks a bit gassed.
All right.
Now,
I'll use a charge of speak with animals and ask them what's going on.
and you can just kind of hear him talk back. Heavy. Just a bit heavy.
Do we need to ditch the ballista?
And you watch as as the large kind of scarab visibly kind of moves right and then left, almost kind of shaking its head. Too many people. Heavy.
Well, shit. And I just call out to everyone else, bad news, we're all really fucking fat, and Ryder can't really take much more of this.
That is
Sounds-
fine, we can walk. And then
Yeah.
Shiro will just start walking.
And the scarab just kind of goes, still fast, just heavy.
I'll tell you what, we'll survive on foot for a couple hours, and if we start to die, we may have to climb back on you.
Okay.
And we start walking.
Alright. And you watch as the big scarab kind of looks very much so full from the last meal that he had. As you now begin to walk your way across the sands towards Ashid. I remember last time Shiro rolled for encounters. This time, Alice, you get to roll.
Yay! What do I roll?
There's a macro for that in the macros tab.
Also, we didn't have any kind of rest, did we? Between this and the worm fight.
You would have after beating those. I assumed you guys went to sleep after. So
Okay,
it will
fair
be a
enough.
long rest. And If you want to roll for the encounters, just basically open up that travel by foot, and use the macro. Travel by foot.
Travel.
Treble. I can't actually find it.
It's beside the music one. There's a and beside the gear, in between the gear and the music.
Yeah.
It's the macros tab. The collection.
And which one do I click on?
Travel by foot. And it should say test macro. And that should roll it.
Nope, doesn't do anything.
Alright, just click the tick that says in bar. And it should pop up by the bottom left of your screen. And
Do you click the little dice?
Little dice?
Yeah, right by the travel by foot, there's that little dice that you can mouse over and it highlights it.
Yeah, it keeps saying it's wrong.
It says
the
there's
macro
an
isn't
error.
set up right.
Yeah, I did it. It said there was an error with your formula.
Oh,
Please
yeah,
try again.
there's an
Travel by foot is kind of broken right now. I see.
Does the travel by carriage work?
Let me see if this works now. There you go. It should work now.
Oh, it does. That was me though. So.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, Alice, you get to roll that now.
Oh.
Okay. Let me just
Is that 19?
let me just look up my notes for this.
Do you need a survival roll as well, or just the D100? Or
Nope,
the
just a
encounter.
just that. All right. This is what happens. As you begin to make your way towards Ashit, just kind of walking off in the distance, about a few days in, 2 days actually, you'd be walking forwards, so you can move your token 2 days towards Ashit, wherever you guys want. There you go. And as you make your way there, in the middle of what looks like just an empty, plain kind of sandstone that you're now on, there looks to be a very large graveyard. With what looks like a very small dude just kind of hanging out in the back, right beside the entrance of the graveyard.
Are we talking like graveyard, or just a shit ton of bones?
A graveyard, like fences and everything, with like tombstones, and a very little dude in front of like the gates.
Like little dude is in little dude, or little dude is in like halfling or like dwarf.
Little dude as in like smaller than a halfling little dude.
Oh, I see. So like, okay, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, Alice is just gonna wander right up to the front of the gate and kind of eyeball it and look down at the guy standing there like, hey, do you need admissions, or can I hang out in here for a little while?
And as you kind of move towards it, the little dude just kind of jumps back, kind of faces you particularly, goes, "Hold! Stop! If you move any closer, you will become part of this city that I live in." And now you see that this little dude looks very much like an elf, except incredibly tiny.
An elf, you say?
Almost looks like an elf. Has like long ears, very vibrant purple eyes, and what looks like a nose that only a mother could love.
And Alice is gonna lean over and kind of get in his face and be like, you know, my family and I don't see eye to eye on a lot of things, but I was raised not to trust elves.
That is preposterous. You are yourself. You look like elf.
Yeah, well, some of us get the short straw in life. So can I go in, or are you just gonna stand there? Or do I need to, like, just pick you up and throw you out of my way?
And some of us appear to be the short straw in life. And Severe is going to gesture towards the little guy.
I mean, it look like it, but I am all powerful, and I will destroy you and your little group.
I'm sure you will.
TPK.
And while he's busy being insulted by Severe, Alice is gonna try and just open the gate.
And he just looks at you.
You have been warned.
As now he just kind of sinks down into the ground very slowly as he disappears into the sand, leaving you with an open gate towards the cemetery. He's actually no clipping.
Wait, it's happening, guys. It's happening.
She just looks up at the gate like, you know, I've read some books that start like this. They don't end well. And she just walks inside.
And you make your way very close towards the inside, and you see a bunch of names written on the tombstones, and one in particular kind of strikes you.
And what does it say?
Ivan.
It
Ivan
says
the Third.
I'm sorry.
Ivernus.
Graveyard of Ivan.
Dirge was here.
The one in particular that you see writes Emily, which you can barely remember was the person on the boat with you guys.
Okay.
The one that was
What-
talking very long.
And what does the one next to it say?
The one next to it says, "Just kidding."
What?
What?
It says just kidding?
Yep.
Okay.
You can continue
What
reading the tombstones.
God.
Yeah, I'm just gonna start walking down the line and see what they say.
After walking down the line and continuously reading the tombstones, it says, "Emily, just kidding. You have been trolled by not a troll. This is small man. I call myself Ipa. Ipa will destroy you. I am all powerful. I will turn you into tombstone." And then after you read the final one, roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, okay.
For a quick second, you watch as Alice transforms into a tombstone and then right back into Alice. And then from out of the sands, the mini guy kind of pops up. "No! That wasn't supposed to happen! What is this?"
Oh, you think that's funny, you little asshole?
I will
And
destroy you.
She transforms into a giant hyena.
Severe is just gonna throw a hand axe at him.
Alright. Severe first, go ahead and roll to see if you hit.
Okay. Oh shit, wait, I forgot to add that to my sheet, hold on. Where's
no.
the compendium? I did buy it because I took the money away. I just didn't pull it from the compendium because I'm stupid.
You boner.
Why is it not working? Alright, screw it. I'm just gonna roll longsword because it's the same 2 hit.
Yep.
Okay, you know what? Now oh my god, roll 20 is so jank. I'm so sorry.
It is
I had
like
to
that
reload it 'cause-
sometimes.
Okay. There we go.
Nope. The axe
Oh,
just goes
I rolled a six.
flying right over this very small man as he now looks at the giant kind of hyena right beside him, and just like his balls would drop, his voice would just deepen to an absolute extent, and he would just go, "Oh shit." Would just sink right into the sand, along with the giant graveyard that's now behind you, just very slowly sinking into the sand, disappearing right into the sandstone. As now you're left out in the middle of nowhere, and
What the hell?
ready for you to move on.
Severe's gonna go pick up his fucking axe.
What just happened?
What an encounter!
Alice scared the shit out of him.
Well,
And he just left.
Fuck.
Okay.
Alright, shit.
And with that being said, you now continue moving towards Ashid after what seemed to be a very random encounter.
Um.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, let's leave. Let's get out of here. The fuck?
You wrote one of the most random encounters I wrote here.
What?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Let's continue on then. Just to see.
You said he said his name was Epo, I think.
Epa.
Epa. Okay, alright. I
Also,
will
our
remember Epa.
buddy on the boat is apparently a tombstone now.
Yes, that guy who told you everything about Knock, tombstoned.
No, I was
It's
gonna
at the
save
guards
him,
after
bro.
Memphis. Well,
I
if he
was-
hadn't have escaped, the guards would have ganked him in his cell.
Oh shit.
I should have grabbed that tombstone. We should have kept him.
We should have.
Oh well.
Alright.
Okay, I guess we're going then.
And as you continue moving forwards across the large river, with you being basically able to top up your water at any point in time, I would say that we won't really mind the water bit, just to make it easier. And eventually, you make your way towards Ashid, where off in the distance you find a large kind of wall settled in, nearing what looks like the side of the river, where upon closer inspection you would see that the wall doesn't really cover the entire city itself, more so a singular large building in the middle of the city. I will now move you across there just so you can see.
Ooh.
Yes. Coming in from the south, that's where you basically enter from, or not really the south, the east. You would see this large kind of city just sprawling about towards nearing the river. There, you would notice that most of its population consists very close to dwarves, gnomes, and mostly humans. As you would see them just kind of moving about, a bunch of them all look like they're wearing this kind of white cloak as they move across from one place to another. Anyone who'd like to roll me a perception check once again? Kuro, Manasvir. Alright. All of you can see this, but they're wearing this kind of necklace, a golden necklace, with what looks like a symbol of a raven.
Time to roll history then, I guess, because I don't know what that fucking means.
Nope. Not a clue.
Would I innately know anything, or am I probably rolling history?
Would you say that Severe is a holy man?
No.
Then roll history. Otherwise, if you would say that your person is a holy person, go ahead and roll religion with advantage.
Nope.
We stick the landing anyway. Easy.
Double nines.
Why am I rolling good at all the stuff I am bad at?
Oh no!
Oh no, our clerics don't know anything.
Yeah, Druid is too edgy for Christian upbringing, so no good. Potato religion.
For the most part, the clerics in your little party, you kind of have this idea, although it kind of just slips. It feels like you know something about this, but it just kind of slips. You, on the other hand, Severe, you would know this to be the symbol of the god of the shadows, known as Yitlos.
Can you put that in the chat? Because there's no way I'm spelling that correctly. Thanks.
Yitlos, the god of
Gotta add it to the
shadows.
group. Adding this to the group notes.
And in your home continent, the people who worship Yitlos are, for the most part, very, very strong hunters.
Got it. I thought you were going to say that they were, like, executed, but I'm glad you went the other way with that.
And you would remember one of your companions in your little gang that you had was a worshipper of Yitlos, and he was very good at being incredibly hard to find, hence why he was recruited.
Got it.
As you now come across the large city of Ashid, and the people just kind of making their way towards to whatever they're trying to do, you notice that in the far corner there are a bunch of them that seems to be traders for the most part, all having large stalls. In another corner, there's a large sign that says Dakalia, which to Severe, you would know this to be the word for residential.
Got it. So, I think it's safe to assume that most of these places are like houses.
Yep. Mostly
Okay.
houses and whatnot. In the middle of the city, there is a large building that looks to be just kind of sort of tower-like.
I don't suppose we'll find much work in the housing place. Perhaps we go to the market or that large, imposing building. He'll say to the
Can I
group.
walk up to a random person?
Go ahead. You can just... There are a bunch of people on the street kind of minding themselves.
Guru will just walk up to the strongest looking person and just come like, you. I need work. Where am I going?
Oh,
And as you walk up towards this very large, I would say very large man, but as you come up closer, you would notice that this man is a big minotaur. And he seems to be carrying this large kind of battle axe. He looks very much like a guard of this place, although he seems to be minding his own business, scribbling down as best as he can to this kind of small paper plastered on the wall. And
Back.
oh, yeah, but you come up towards him, and he seems to be just very busy writing down on a very small piece of paper that he can barely put his fingers on. And you watch him kind of turn towards you. What do you want?
Work. Where am I going?
Work? Not so much work here, more traders. Though, I do have something of the sort. Maybe for you. How many people? Group?
How many do we have right now? Sorry, out of character.
There's 4 of us in session, but I think 6.
Just the 4 of us.
Yeah, sorry, do we count... If we're talking about our group, though, do we say 6 or 4?
I would
Probably
say
4
that,
now.
yeah, 4 for now.
Okay. 4. 4 of us.
Alright, this will be good then. You see, we need more food. Food is good. And we don't have enough for this entire city. And so that's what I'll be asking you. Food. If you can provide some food for the festival, then I'll pay you in kind. Depending on how much you're be bringing back, of course, unless you have some already.
So, we hunting? Is that what you want? What do you want?
That's exactly what I want from you. Hunting. Out in the open
Cool.
sands, there are these small creatures. They call them Almirage. These very fluffy, cute things. Although, they do provide some very delicious food.
So, you want us to kill them or just bring them back?
Capture, kill, whatever you decide, so long as the meat is intact. We need the meat for food.
Cool, that's great. Yeah, cool. I'll be back. And then Kuro's just gonna leave and head back to the group.
Alright.
And then he's gonna head back to the group and say, yeah, so, old guy over there, I don't know who he was, he said he'd pay us if we bring him food. So we're going hunting if you want gold, I guess.
Wait. Wasn't he just Shiro like moments ago?
2 days have passed and I rolled and he switched personalities.
Oh, I was wondering why you rolled. I completely forgot. I am never opposed to getting more coin.
I guess we're going back out and looking for something to hunt.
What's the job exactly?
We need to bring food, so we're hunting. There's like weird fluffy sheep things that we're supposed to kill or bring back intact.
Didn't we bring one of those with us?
No. We killed some lizards, not weird sheep things.
I was kind of referencing the sheep in our party.
Oh, okay.
Whoosh.
Yeah, can we harvest the sheep in our party and sell it?
Oh no.
I don't think so. Well, we best get a move on before someone else gets our reward. And I'll start back towards the exit.
Oh lord.
Well, actually, before I actually go, Severe's gonna ask Metalhead. He's gonna turn and say, "Well, Metalhead, did he indicate perhaps where we should begin looking?"
Outside.
Excellent.
You know, you're no fun when you stroke out like this. And Alice just pats him on the metal head.
He's just gonna kind of look at you, give you a death stare, and then just start walking.
And she just yells after him, "Yeah, sorry, pal, I don't swing that way."
You are being ignored.
Alright, let's go kill cute, fluffy, innocent animals.
My specialty.
Oh no. All right. But are you gonna ask exactly where they are or how many you need to kill?
Yes, Severe is going to stop by our large, hulking food man and kind of pose a question. Our friend there in the helmet, he may have forgotten to ask where we can begin our search for these scrumptious meals.
North. Open sand. A few hours away from city. We'll be fine. You'll find them.
Thank you.
They like to burrow. And
I see.
they also like
There,
berries.
I see. Are there any of those berries that we could perhaps use to lure them in the city right now?
I'll give you some coin to buy some. If that means you'll get some Almirage, of course.
I have some money of my own I can spend. Just point me in the right direction and I can get some supplies.
The trade district probably has some. Some kind of berry. I don't know exactly the name of it, but you'll find one there.
Well, do you know the name of these species that we're hunting?
Yes,
Perhaps I could narrow it down.
They're called Almirage.
Almirage. All right, got it. I appreciate the guidance. And then Severe will make his way towards the trade district.
And the rest of you follow. So you watch Severe just kind of talk with the Minotaur and start making his way towards the trade district.
I'm gonna wait outside town for now.
All right.
Alice is gonna hang out with the Minotaur.
Mana
And-
is going to follow our snaky friend.
All right. So, we'll start with Mana first and Severe. Mana and Severe, you make your way towards the trade district, passing by a lot of these dwarves, mostly gnomes, a few humans, seemingly, well, doing their thing.
As they do.
A large majority of them all seem to just kind of flock towards this large spiraling kind of tower covered by the walls. And as you kind of pass that large section, you watch as there seems to be a long procession going on, with just in general this long line nearly blocking your path towards the trade district. Thankfully, most of them are just kind of kind enough to split the line for you to come through. And as you make your way towards the trade district, there you find a bunch of smaller stalls. One in particular seems to be more food related, with a dwarf kind of off on top of a small kind of crate, asking around for customers to come over. What do you do?
Severe, I guess, doesn't have a whole lot of interest in Brynjolf of Riften, so he's going to try and see first if there are any obvious kind of like food or I guess explicitly like berry stalls. I guess anywhere.
That same dwarf seems to have mostly what looks like vegetables. Bunch of potatoes, maybe some carrots, and one in particular looks like blackberries.
All right. Well, then Severe is now interested in Brynjolf of Riften. So he'll go over to, I guess, the sort of commotion of the little man standing on the crate.
And as he notices you coming over, new faces, new faces. Come here, come here. Lots of food for you to buy.
What in particular do you have?
Of course, we have some wormling meat. A juvenile was caught the other day. We have some of that. And we have some of the berries. The Almiraj love these.
And you watch as he kind of points off towards this small kind of crate that has just a bunch of these berries just nearly crushed, very unkempt. And he just kind of points it towards it.
They call them srets. Stret berries. Now, this
Can you
was
spell that out?
very particular.
And
Oh, thank you. Okay.
and he just kind of points off to another place. He goes,
This one right here, a juvenile threadworm. Very delicious, very tough, however. We might need to cook it over fire for very long.
I see. How much for that bucket of berries?
Yeah. How much you looking? No price particular. How much you offering for the berries?
Well, I don't have a whole lot on me right now, but let's say 3 gold pieces.
3 gold? Big bucket.
3 gold pieces. You'll give me the bucket for 3 gold?
Yes. 3 gold big bucket. Sounds like good deal.
Well, that's a shame. It appears I miscounted and I only have a single gold piece.
Single gold piece? Yeah, I'll give you 3/4 bucket.
Oh, look, I have found a second gold piece. Would you settle for 2 for the entire bucket?
2 for bucket. Okay.
Oh, fancy doing business with you, and I'll give him 2 gold pieces. Take the bucket.
and he just seems to, from the look of things, Mana, since you're kind of watching this unfold in front of you, the dwarf seems to not be very good at business. However, he managed to catch a a very nice price for what looks like just a small bucket of these berries.
Yeah, I felt like I was getting scammed, but Severe, regardless, is going to take the bucket and walk away feeling like he got a really good deal anyway.
And yeah, he hands you a bucket full of these berries. Some of them kind of squished, releasing a bunch of this nearly kind of reddish kind of liquid. But for the most part, you now have a full bucket of these strat berries.
All right, nice. Well, I suppose we can make our way to the gate unless there's something else you'd like to investigate here.
Mana's probably gonna look for any shops that might buy or sell trinkets so that she could just get rid of these specific scales.
There are a few that seem to be in the process of, much like a fish market, in the process of butchering a bunch of these the same kind of worms that you fought against the other day. All of them seem to be quite busy, except for one that looks like a little kid just on top of a small stall. And he seems to be minding his own business, counting what looks like the gold pieces underneath a desk.
Mana will approach the child, and she will just immediately slam both scales onto the desk and try to get his attention.
And the child will just visibly wide-eyed, just kind of recoil. Sorry there. I was a bit busy, as you can see. And you watch him just kind of pull out a bunch of gold from this small chest and kind of counting it in his hands. Yes. What can I help you with?
South of here, there were wyverns or wormlings. We killed them slowly, and then she's going to slide the scales over. I'm looking for a price, a decent one.
A gold each, I would say.
And then her face is going to scowl a bit as she leans in a bit forward, and she's going to say, "Interesting. There was a man in the sands, from the Goblin Sands, who told me he would give me 3. You're not scamming me, are you?"
Of course not. It's just that the scales aren't used for a lot of things.
Witch! Burn her!
Oh no.
Hmm.
And how do you respond to this child?
Mana is going to sort of reach over and sort of grab the child by the scruff of his, I guess, his neck, and say, look him directly in the eyes and say, "I want 4, no more, no less."
4 for 1? That seems like a bad deal, Missy.
4 both.
4 for both? Sure, why not? And the child just kind of...
Wait, hold on. Did you say I was 2 for each?
Yes. That's... He said 4 for both? Sure, why not?
I mean, so was it 3 scales? I'm sorry, was it 3 gold pieces for 1 scale or 2 gold pieces for 1 scale?
2 gold pieces for 1 scale. Although you can try and haggle a bit more.
What was the offer the person in the sands was giving me?
He was trying to offer you a bunch of silver.
Yeah, and then I thought he said like a couple or a few. I'm not sure he gave an exact number. I thought.
Yes, he did not give a number. However, you can see this child kind of growing a bit impatient with all of this, as he's just looking around very quickly, kind of surveying his surroundings.
Oh, sure, I'll take the 2 for each then.
And he just kind of smiles. Okay then, 2 for each, here you go. And he kind of passes you 4 gold total. How many scales do you have?
It was just 2.
Alright. So he gives you 4 gold total, slides it across, grabs the scales, and puts it in his small pocket, along with the other gold that he got. And you would see the child kind of nod. Thank you very much for your business. Now I'll have to make my way. Goodbye. I have some business to attend to. As you watch the child kind of very slowly walk off towards an alleyway. And then a few moments later, you would see a gnome kind of making her way towards the stall that you're currently in. kind of jumping up towards the small seat. Yes, what can I do you for?
But
Ah, man, I got fleeced by a kid.
Mana is going to, without a second thought, look to look to the gnome that jumps up, look to where the kid walked, and just chase the kid.
Go ahead and roll perception. You saw him kind of come around this large corner, right behind this building that would look like an inn of some sort. And as you follow the tracks that where he went, you just be face first to this very large crowd of people coming through with what looks like a whole carcass of a juvenile draitworm. And this large crowd just begins to cover the entire path as they just very eagerly look towards this large carcass being carried across towards the trade district. And that kid is gone.
Oof. Well, by any chance, I'm gonna go return back to the gnome and ask how many gold pieces I would have gotten for one scale.
And as you come back over towards the gnome, you would now see Severe in front of what looks like a very sad and crying gnome. As this gnome would just like put his hand towards his face, just go, that was a week's worth. That was a week's worth of gold. I left for 1 second. And you just watch as this gnome just breaking down.
Pick your head up, man. Have some respect.
I don't care about no goddamn respect. My gold got stolen. You would have happened to see whoever did this, right?
Would I've seen the kid in the stall?
Yeah, you were right in front of him, and you were basically bargaining with this kid alongside Mana.
It appeared to have been a human child, right?
Yes.
Yes. I'll give him the best description that I can, I guess.
And
If I were you, I would get on it immediately and see that kid punished.
the gnome would just kind of look down. No punishing humans here.
I am not from here. And I would happily see his punishment done if I were paid.
No, I'm saying the rules here state that we cannot harm the humans.
I am not from here, so I don't see why I should follow their rules.
Sadly, you have the prisoner's tattoo. And if one of the guards see you meddling with the humans, you already know what's going to happen with you, right?
I've learned in my experience that sometimes actions should be done discreetly.
You know what? If you can do this for me, I'll pay you a handsome price. I still have some gold left in my pocket. I'll pay you whatever.
I see. If I see him, I will bring him to you. Unless you think he should be dealt with then.
If you find him and the gold pieces, you can take half of what he took. Alright?
Excellent. And then Severe will hand the bucket to Mana, if she will take it, and head off in the direction of the kid to see if there's anything at all he can see.
And although Mana isn't there, you just kind of walk off towards where she went as well, handing her the bucket of berries that you got. In the meantime,
I'd give it to her if I could. If she won't take it, I'll just hold on to it.
All right. In the meantime, Alice, in front of this large minotaur that you're currently just hanging out with, you watch him continue to scribble down on this notes, on this large kind of paper, and he notices you just kind of standing there for a moment. He goes, "Yeah, what do you want? You see, I'm busy here."
Oh yeah, no. She ever since the others left, she's just been harassing him nonstop. Like, we had a cow on the farm named Gregory. It's creepy how much you look like him. I will give you 10 gold if you just moo once for me.
No, I will not moo for you. This is not
20.
20? Well, shit.
20 gold.
That's a hard bargain right there.
One moo, that's all I ask.
20 gold for a moo?
20 gold.
Nah, I'm not doing no moo. What are you talking about? I'm no cow.
25.
Well, shit. Why are you making this hard for me, huh? Why do you want me to moo?
Just the resemblance. I miss home. Okay, it'd make me feel better.
No, I'm not mooing for you. But could you help me though? I'll pay you just a small amount of silver to help me write something. It's really hard for my big hands.
Sure, I guess. What do you need me to write?
Alright, I'll dictate this and you write it, alright?
You got it, Chief.
And he hands you ink and quill and a piece of parchment paper. And there's no place to actually write properly, although there's a wall, which you can just kind of put down, or the floor.
Yeah, I'll just like hold it against the wall with one hand and scribble on it.
And you can see that on the page that he was trying to write on, you cannot understand what he was trying to write whatsoever. It looks like a doodle at this point. And he just goes, just turn it on the other side. Maybe you can write it better and you can,
Yep, she'll flip it over.
Alright, this is what I need you to write. Dear brother. You got that?
Keep going, asshole.
Yeah, alright. Dear brother, there is a big problem here in Ashid. The guild is working hard. I'm making sure that they are. But there's a little gold deficit here. So we've resorted to minor thievery. But nothing too serious. And can you add like a little man smiling there for me?
Yeah, hold on. And she draws a little stick man, but she puts like cow horns on it and writes a little speech bubble that says, "P.S. I started mooing for money."
And he just kind of looks at it for a bit. Yeah, that looks nice. Thanks. and
she'll give it back. Like, do you need me to take it to a postmaster, or what are you gonna do with it?
Oh no, I'll send it. And he just kind of reaches out. All right, give it here.
She'll give it back.
And he just kind of takes it, nearly crumples it, but kind of very slowly tries to fold it and puts it in his very small pocket. Alright, as promised, a few silvers. And he just tosses towards you maybe like 10 silvers off towards the floor. Just kind of
Yeah, she's not
like
she's
bird
not picking
seed
it up.
almost. Just kind of tossing it on the side. There you go. 10 silvers. Thanks for writing that for me. And hopefully your friends come back. To which you would then see Severe and Mana just kind of off in the corner, coming around the corner with this large kind of group in front of them, carrying this large carcass of a juvenile drakeworm. And Severe and Mana, what are you guys doing?
Was this the direction that the kid also ran?
Yep.
I'm gonna try and grab one of the people around the Drake worm and just kind of be like, did you see a juvenile run by here?
Yeah, man, the only juvenile we ever got here is this one right here, this big one.
And he kind of points off towards this carcass that's in front of you.
Juvenile drakeworm, very big one.
Oh, this simply won't do. Hmm. Was he like wearing anything out of the ordinary, or did he just look like a normal kid?
He was wearing the same cloaks that everyone is basically wearing, but he did not have a amulet.
Let's see.
But with no kind of lead, you're just out here. Kuro's literally just out off in like outside the city, coming back very slowly now.
Are we not leaving? What are you guys doing?
All right, I guess it just sucks to be swindled. I just all right, it's fine. Well, I guess I'll kind of present the berries to Alice then and say, we've got our bait. I suppose we should meet up with Metalhead at the front gate.
Oh, I walked over to you guys and was asking why it was taking so long.
Oh, all right. Well, yeah. Then I'll just say that to everyone. We've got the bait. We can get going if we need.
Yeet, let's motor.
Yeah. Did you tell me about the kid, or you're going?
Oh, Mana would tell him about the.
Yeah, I guess Mana would. Yeah. I probably wouldn't. So.
Cool. After hearing about that, I'd like to cast a spell, please.
Yeah.
Locate object.
And what exactly are you locating?
Those scales that Mana had.
Give it.
Go on.
And as you cast your spell, you begin to notice that it is not as far as you would think it is. In fact, it is right below you.
Well, your kid that one-upped you appears to be below me.
Sewers, most likely.
Severe's gonna, if the Minotaur is still there, he's gonna kind of try and ask him a question if he's still there.
Yep, the Minotaur is still very happily looking at his letter.
Severe's gonna go over and kind of say, I don't suppose you would know if there are catacombs or perhaps a system beneath this town, city?
What the hell's a catacomb?
a sewer system or a cesspit of any kind?
Sewers? Yeah, of course we have sewers. The only way we can have some water flowing in as well, so.
Are there any access points nearby?
Yeah, there's one in front of the inn, one right beside the trade district. There's one over there, I guess. You can points off into the corner, right near the gates of this little city that you're in. Yeah, there's one right there.
The closest one is like in sight.
Yes, the closest one is basically just a few kind of minutes of walk away.
Well, if everyone has heard our nice fellow's description, I think we have a way down there.
Cool. Kuro, who doesn't want his spell to run out, is gonna kind of jog over there.
Severe will go at a brisk pace as well.
Alright, here comes the goose chase. Alright, let me just.
As long as I maintain concentration, I can just follow it.
Let me just quickly prepare this.
I'm sorry, we went off of the main story.
It's almost like it's almost like Wayrock did something like this before too.
I regret nothing.
However.
Oh, that was great.
Is this like the dragon head? Oh yeah.
That dragon head sequence was amazing.
The debut of the almighty grease spell.
Alright. And bam, bam, bam. Give me a very quick moment.
Uh-oh.
I don't know these people. I'm not with these people. I'm hanging out with a cow.
Alright. And as you make your way towards the sewer kind of manhole, it isn't really covered with anything. And you can just look, it looks like you can just make your way down very easily.
Then I shall, after Metalhead, I suppose.
Metalhead will jump down and then start running. Well, not running, but start following the direction of his belt.
I will follow close behind.
Alright. Wait, has Roll20 changed anything with the dynamic lighting?
I see all black and my token isn't down, if that's what you mean.
Here. Alright. If you would kindly put your tokens right here.
I can see the whole thing.
Yes. There is something going on with the dynamic lighting.
I think they did an update and there was a bug the other day.
Oh
They
no.
broke everything again.
It's broken again.
Probably.
Please no.
Oh, I think that did it.
What did
Yes,
it? I didn't do anything.
Well, then it just updated for me and I can no longer see everything.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm confused. What's going on?
It fixed itself, I guess.
Oh. Right. Very very strange. Okay. Can you guys see or anything? Is there an issue?
Yeah.
I
See
can
a
see
little
it.
bit. You can see like this straightaway down to here.
Yeah.
I would probably be able to see, but I'm blind now. Uh-oh. Wait. Don't you have dark vision?
I think she's a human, yeah.
Wait, you should be able to see then.
Filthy human.
What is Alice? Is Alice a Goliath or?
Half elf.
Oh, I see.
Are you able to see now?
Filthy half elf.
What's wrong? Okay? Maybe I should check like stuff before I do any of these maps
Never trust
with
one
dynamic
twenty.
lighting. Anyways, as you make your way down, is Shiro here? Oh, you have the torch.
Yes.
As you make your way down the sewer system, there isn't really much that's going on here aside from the fact that there are very muddy footprints leading off towards the eastern side of this place.
Which direction are the items located? Which way is it pinging me towards?
Right now, southeast. And it seems to be moving very slowly.
I'm just
If-
gonna start heading that way.
Yeah. If the footprints break off, I can follow the path in the dark.
And you make your way down closer. And as you make your way towards the corner, go ahead and roll a perception check.
Just him or me too?
Anyone that's coming around the bend, basically.
Oh, it was not good this time.
Kuro, you would immediately hear a bunch of voices coming from the right hand side, just kind of echoing over towards you. You can't exactly understand the conversation, but there seems to be maybe 3 or more people talking.
And is that the same direction that I can feel the scales to be?
Yep, same exact place.
To the right. Okay, cool. Just gonna head on over there.
I will follow him if that's the way he's going.
Yep.
And are you going in sneakily or
Oh,
just walking?
I am a bright light source walking straight towards them, strolling in.
And as you come closer, you would see a few of these kind of people just off towards the edge of this sewers, as everyone would, I guess, see this. Mostly dwarves that you can note, and they all seem to be a bit distracted with whatever they're doing there.
Have a direction again, please.
It is pinging right here.
I will turn to the others and say, well, what we're looking for is straight ahead, so I'm just gonna go over there. And
Me too.
just walk on up.
And as you get as close as there, you would see the rest of them just kind of go, "Oh shit, people here!" And you would see the kid just kind of run off towards here. Hey, you people, in the wrong place. We're currently trying to fix some infrastructure.
Oh, is that what the extra funds that your friend there is carrying are for?
Yeah. Yeah, you can say that. Yeah.
Well, then we're from the construction management, and we need to redirect those funds.
And to where are you redirecting these funds, good sir?
Back to their rightful owners.
And you watch him kind of turn towards the rest of the people here. I suggest that you start moving away and maybe go back to your construction manager. Ask him about the funds, you know?
This guy's talking.
This one is talking.
All right, he's getting a hand axe.
Everyone roll initiative. Holy crap. Initiative. Crit.
I rolled for the hand axe unless you wanted me to do it on my turn, but I didn't know if that would like initiate it or not.
And it would. That would be, I guess, a surprise. So for that moment, yes, that would also hit. And who are you throwing the hand axe at?
The guy that was talking.
All right. Let me just roll for their initiatives as well. Also, I'm now also beginning to notice that it's not popping up. I'm clicking the initiative order thingy. It's not popping up. Is it popping up for you guys?
I don't see it.
Yikes! What is going on? Is it my side? I'll try to refresh.
Don't see it.
I'll try to refresh. Maybe it's just my internet being bad.
There it is. I see it.
Yeet.
Did it work now? Nice.
Yep, I see it.
Okay, now I see your dynamic lighting thingy. Alright. Let me just quickly roll for these guys. Terrible.
Jesus.
As the hand axe kind of flies off and just hits the side of this guy who was talking to you guys, how much damage did you do?
4.
And you just hit him in the shoulder and he just screams in agony as now everyone just begins to pull out their swords and start making their way towards you guys. This one in particular is just going to try and push through. He is not in the correct spot. There you go. $25. And he just kind of shout over towards you, "Take this, you piece of shit!" and just throw a dagger in your direction.
That will not hit.
Ah, yes. Auto roll damage is automatically on for everything.
That is roll 20. You know what? Sure. It will not hit, just the dagger flying off and falling right into the water. Although he does still have his scimitar. Shiro, you are up.
I was going to ask if he throws that too.
Shiro will, Kuro will just stroll straight up to him, put a hand on his shoulder, and Tell him to die.
Oh,
I probably missed.
Is that a to hit roll?
Yep.
That did not hit. As you
No.
walk up towards him and try to basically grab his face, or whatever part that you're trying to grab, he just backs away slowly. Come closer and I'll kill you. Not that I'm not going to.
Okay, that's my turn. No.
Alice, what will you turn into this time?
And she just looks at everything around her, and the sewers stink, and the people, and she just yells like, "Are we really doing this for like 3 fucking gold?" And she'll, let's stick with giant hyena.
nice. Oh,
Holy.
And we charge 50 feet. Because
Oh.
hyena.
oh dear.
Crazy.
And I'm gonna eat it.
24 will hit.
For $10.
And as you bite down, suddenly, around your current direction, there would just be a burst of what looks like small icicles from his body. As
Motherfucker.
you would see him wearing this kind of glowing reddish ring, as it would just explode in a corner. That's 10 feet. Anyone 10 feet close to this guy? Let me see.
He has the Ring of Thorns. Wow. The best ring in Dark Souls 2.
16 plus 4.
20.
Does that hit? I'm pretty sure that hits you, but Shiro, does it hit you?
Does a 20 hit me? Yes.
Alright. Then you would take 2 damage.
Oh.
Nice.
I was worried because I thought he was like adding up numbers with that time, and I was like, oh god.
Orc motherfucker.
Okay. Goodbye,
That's all.
concentration.
That's all for my turn.
Wait, what's the concentration for?
Locate object.
You already know where it is.
Hey.
It didn't really matter, but
Now you can do other concentration.
Alright. As now this man comes around the corner and runs up towards you. Mana, you're up.
So man is gonna move up I suppose 25 feet, and then I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt on the one who just ran up behind our hyena.
Alright. $14 will not hit.
Damn.
As your spell will just kind of go off and shoot past the man that's currently behind the giant hyena. And he would just turn towards you. Ha! You missed me, little goth kid.
Yeah, that's my turn.
Severe.
I can move through allied spaces, I just can't end my turn there, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, shit. I would have to end my turn there. Let's see. I can go.
You'd go under the water. That's not really that deep. It's
Yeah.
just difficult terrain.
Okay. I am gonna. We're gonna put a fireball. Wait, I don't have fireball, do I? I didn't take fireball because I'm actually trolling.
Jesus.
Stinky. I'll tell you what. I can actually do a poison spray. I'm gonna put poison spray on this guy.
Project a puff of noxious gas. All right.
Yeah.
That's a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, piss. All right.
Nothing.
Yeah, he doesn't take anything out.
And- Yeah, with the puff just kind of appearing from your palm, you would notice that there's a bit of a draft coming from the north. It would just kind of pull the puff back.
That's fine. I'm immune.
Friendly fire.
Oh no! It hits man in the back.
Piss. I'll do it. I'll just action surge and run through. And then I'll take a swipe at this guy.
All right. Action surge time.
$15?
15 definitely hits.
Sick. Oh, that's so dinky.
Dinky damage, although he was already hurt from earlier, and as you slash across his torso, you would notice he begins to just grow weary, falling back nearly.
All right. That's my turn, and Severe's gonna turn to the kid and say, "If you run, then you will be next."
And the kid just kind of goes, "If you can catch me." As now the guy in front of you will swing an axe down. Or rather, a scimitar.
That will not hit.
Tries to swing it down, still kind of weary and holding the wound that's currently on his chest. It just falls right on the floor. Does not manage to hit you whatsoever. Although, the kid now just kind of gives you a nice little smile that you can very easily see. And he will disengage and...
Of
right
course, he's
off.
going to disengage. You know for a fact I was opportuning if he did not. Oh, wait, did he go through a door? This is like a door.
Yes. And this one will take a shot at the giant hyena.
You bastard.
Big shot on hyena.
Bring it.
10 points of damage. It's auto roll now. It's kind of weird. And now, the one in front of you, Shiro, just kind of looks around. Someone close that door, quick! You don't want him passing through. As he will now try and stab you, Shiro, or rather Kuro. 4 points of slashing
Yep,
damage.
Yeah.
Not needing to click is kind of convenient, but at the same time, Shiro or Kuro, you're up.
I'm gonna try to grab his face again.
Go ahead. Yeah, 20 will hit.
22.
Holy crap.
Oh,
22 points of damage grab his face and just wounds begin to appear. Just slashing him all over. And he would just groan in pain, shouting, "Ah, I'll freaking kill you! I'll kill you!"
He will remain silent, but keep his hand on the guy's face and end his turn.
Gosh.
Big hyena.
Yes, I will take an opportunity attack to stand. I can't see past this wall. Is there somebody standing there?
That is, no one should be standing there. Although I don't
Or is
think
it
you'd
just a
fit.
wall?
That's just a literal wall.
Okay. Because I saw you ping over here, and I couldn't tell where the wall was. Well, shit then. I just bite.
Oh, right, because you can't really see from that place. So I'll just put you here for now.
Fair enough.
Alright.
Good God.
Oh no.
Jesus.
Yo, 24. That will hit. Who are you biting?
The one we've been beating on.
Oh, Lord. Another 8 points of damage as he's just shouting, "Ah! Please stop!"
Stop, he's already dead.
Not if I don't get to rampage, he's not. That's it.
Alright. Now, this one is going to start slashing you. The big hyena.
Do it. Do it.
1, 2, 3. Do any of those hit?
Yeah, all of
15,
them do.
21, 25.
Yeah.
The 25, I think might
Yes.
possibly hit.
Probably.
yeah, they all hit.
That is, let me,
14.
22.
Holy shit.
22 points of damage on you. As he just slashes across multiple times, grabs his dagger, just pokes it straight through you.
That is not very poggers.
Oh wait, I forgot about earlier. When you cast your spell on the inflict wounds on this guy, and also the bite, he burst twice.
God damn it.
Oh, so that means I'm making a
Anyone 10
save?
feet. You don't have to make a save. It's a 2-hit.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Oh,
the 14 is on the hyena.
Yeah, the 14 hits me.
The 14 still
Just
hits
for
you?
when I init-
My AC is 12.
This is on the first one. This is on this is on Kuro. Wait, no, that's the wrong one. Kuro, you have 2 points of damage. Even though that's a crit. On the hyena, 6 points of damage.
that is not poggers.
Oh no!
And on severe, 2 points of damage.
I didn't attack him. Do I still take that?
10 feet away
Oh, it's,
from
it's
him.
everyone
it
in yeah, okay,
explodes.
yeah. Okay. So, wait, how much on me? 2 or?
2 on you. 2 on Kuro, 6 on the hyena, and 2 on you.
Got it.
as Mana, it is now your go. Unless I skipped someone. I don't think I did. Nope.
No.
Mana is going to cast a spiritual weapon. Well, she's going to move forward first.
Hmm.
And it's going to be right behind Severe's
Based.
yes.
It counts as a creature, right? No? Can he flank
No.
with it?
No.
You cannot. It is not a creature.
Sad.
That is sad.
You know what? I should prepare a asset for the spiritual weapon.
You
But
can probably just
for
find
now,
like a sword or something
Yeah,
real quick.
the free swords.
Or a spear. Or a scythe. It'd be cool if there was a scythe.
Does Roll20 have free scythe? I'm not sure.
I don't know. Some really weird free assets, I will say though.
Sword.
I think one of the free assets is a guy on a surfboard with a machine gun.
What?
I remember
Yes.
finding that once.
Alright. Mana, your spiritual weapon will hit 9 points. How do you kill it?
Oh,
How do you
I
kill
run
him?
him through from behind, and the pointy end of the blade sort of just like pokes Severe in the nose, just boop.
Just barely hitting his face. As
Fantastic.
a guy in front of you would literally just kind of, the way people die in Gmod, just kind of fall down.
Your ragdoll.
They just ragdoll in place.
Lawless.
And anything else you'd like to do, Mana?
Oh, I'm going to call out to Severe and say, "You're free to go get that kid if you'd like." And I think that's my turn.
You still have an action because spiritual weapon is a bonus action.
It is a bonus action. That's true.
Yes.
I have cantrips. I do not want to hit the guy who explodes every time he takes damage.
I think you
That's a
should.
good idea.
Oh, Kurl thinks I should. I should do it. Okay, I'm doing it.
You
He's almost
coward.
dead anyways.
Do it, I dare you.
We're gonna cast Toll the Dead.
Ooh, wisdom saving throw.
My god.
One whole necrotic damage.
True. He failed.
Well, he's taking it.
God, please say that kills him.
One whole necrotic damage does not kill him. However, he does explode.
Yeah.
That is
Oh,
most inefficient.
On the three of them again. On the three of you at least. That's on Kuro, this is on the hyena, and this is on Severe.
That's not gonna hit.
yeah, the 12 hits me.
The 12 still hits you. Oh
My
lord.
AC is 12.
Oh no.
Oh, balls.
That's another 3 damage on you.
I am still a hyena. Fucking barely.
Okay, that's my turn.
I swear, Toll of the Dead always rolls low on the D12 and high on the D8.
It always
Oh, it
does.
Always does. I'm pretty sure Jeremy Crawford programmed it into roll 20.
Severe,
Alright.
you are up. The door here
I'm
that
ru-
you were looking at as the kid kind of ran through it is very much widely opened.
Yeah, I'm gonna run to the fucking door.
And as you make your way towards the door, there's a staircase leading even lower. And it looks to be the kid is very deep in already. And if you do follow through, these guys would still be in combat. You will be out of combat.
He can't be that far down. He disengaged. Oh, I'll chase after him. Oh, I'll run it. These guys got it. I believe them. You can
Alright.
do it. I'll be right back.
And I'll keep you on GM layer just to say that you're not in this place, but you will still have your turn later.
Got it.
The kid is just about, let me see, like 30 feet away from you, actually.
Going
Going
in.
downwards.
Uh,
Yeah, from where you are, you
yeah.
could probably dash towards him, actually. And
I would absolutely dash towards him.
all right, you dash towards him, you catch up, and you kind of watch as he turns around and pulls out the dagger, it would seem.
Hand over what you've stolen.
Really, dude? For 2 measly scales?
And what you stole from that shopkeeper.
How about no?
Well, then
And-
I guess I'll be taking it by force.
He does go right after you. So he will be trying to stab you.
Fair enough. I can claim self-defense now. This is what we wanted.
Oh no!
With a gun in his hand.
He just shoots me. I cannot wait.
And Severe, actually perfect for this. As he turns around, you see as this dagger seemingly has a coat of what looks like poison. As he
But he's
tries
not
and
injured?
stabs you.
Sneak
That does not hit.
17?
Nope, I have 18. Chain and shield.
Hell yeah. As he tries and stabs you, you just very easily move out of the way since you have the high ground.
I am. Don't try it.
Watch him try to do backflip next.
Based.
This one will continue shooting the big hyena that you can see.
No.
As light crossbow bolts straight
Fuck.
through towards a hyena.
Yep.
Hits you in the
Hyena is
side.
gone.
Hyena is gone, revealing Alice.
Oh god, go back to the other form.
Oh no. And that is his go. This one, after seeing what looks like the hyena disappearing slowly, turning back into Alice, would just kind of laugh. Ah! Little girl, that's all you are! I'll kill you!
Toxic.
As he moves over here
Oh no.
and goes for Alice. An actual
No.
toxic gamer. Though he did throw his dagger, so
True.
20 will hit, I'm pretty sure.
Doesn't
That's
the 23 hit because he's flanking?
Oh, he is flanking. That's also 8.
I thought that's why you moved there.
No, I'm just kind of dumb sometimes.
Yep, those both hit then.
Oh no.
That's 16 points of damage as he slashes from behind.
Oh no.
This is not good.
Can you not wild shape again?
Maybe.
Did we? How long was it between Crazy Graveyard and here?
Oh, that was a long, long time ago. That was days ago.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
it was,
fucking,
yeah.
I'm fine.
Oh, okay. See.
Yeah, I'll be fine then.
All right. Shiro, Kuro, you were up.
I'm gonna toll the dead, the guy in front of me, and roll a 1.
Please do roll something bigger. Toll the dead?
Yep, called it.
What are you talking about? It does actually roll the d8 bigger. Wisdom saving throw. Boom!
Nice. 7 necrotic.
And he explodes.
Oh,
You boner.
That's on Shiro.
That misses.
oh, I thought you meant he died. I forgot he had this mechanic.
And that is on Alice.
Yep,
Twelve.
that hits me.
Wait. No!
I have 11 AC, bro.
oh,
Ah, dinky
Yes!
damage.
oh my.
And I
Thank
will
God.
also cast a spell. A healing word.
Ooh.
I didn't roll it. Why didn't you roll?
On Alice, I presume.
Yes.
Yay!
I have 6 healing.
That is fantastic.
Now it's my turn.
Alright. Alice.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go stand over here as I just try and clean all the blood that just spilled out of me by the fucking gallons. It's alright, fine. You don't like the hyena? That's okay. And
Oh,
now they're
no.
gonna deal with a brown bear.
Yes, the bear.
The bear. Poggers.
And bear is gonna... Huh. Let's see. How is this guy looking? Is he pretty fucked up at this point?
He looks like he can take a decent hit or two. But he
That's
is
not what I
very
wanted.
wounded in comparison to the other one.
Fuck it. We gotta get rid of him.
25 will hit. That's an angry bear. And I would say that this is technically flanking still, so that's another 25.
Sweet.
You're like one away from crits every time. Good God!
Holy crap.
What?
22.
I think those are a couple good hits.
Those are very good hits. But he is still alive.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Double
And
Jesus.
he explodes twice.
Bruh. Just remember, we did this over 3 fucking gold.
This is 2 on Shiro and 2 on Brown Bear.
That is 1
Yeah.
hit.
14,
They both
14. Alright, for
That's a lot of
Shiro.
14s.
Me and the brown bear have the same AC.
Alright, this is on Shiro.
Only
And
got
this
one
is
hit.
on
Yeah.
Brown Bear. 10 on Brown
Oh
Bear.
my-
Yep. Alright.
And anything else you like to do, Big Bear? Action surge.
No. Yeah. Action bear. Yeah, no. I got nothing.
Yeah, but as you maul this guy in front of you, he looks like he's just one flick away from falling over.
Someone flick him, please.
But this guy,
Flick it.
however, is
Looking
not.
good. Oh, fuck.
And he will now begin to multi-stab you.
Oh, no.
1 and a 2 and a stab.
Yeah, look at all those hits. And
That
I'm not a
is-
bear anymore.
Wait, you're not
What?
a bear anymore?
I'm not a bear anymore.
Oh, Lord.
Can you wild shape again?
No.
Stinky.
No longer bear.
I accept my fate. Can I play a barbarian again, please?
Oh, no.
Don't like being casters.
Mana, you are up. You just watched
Oh my god.
Alice transform into a bear and then back into Alice.
Return to Crom. Alright, let me look up ability real quick.
Corm.
Turn to crow.
Crem. I'm trying to think what I have like 4 more barbarians in this family.
Rom.
Okay, so first thing we're gonna do. So since the explosive one seems like a flick would kill him, we're gonna do
Mhm.
exactly that.
Mrock. All right, let's go.
We're gonna move that spiritual weapon 25 feet so that it's flanking, and then we're gonna hit him.
Wait, does spiritual blade get bonuses for flanking?
I don't think it matters if it flanks
It
or not.
doesn't matter.
It actually doesn't matter. Let's see that damage. And that is enough to kill him. And you watch as he dies. The power of that ring, whatever that was, stops.
Yay!
Christ.
That someone needs to grab the ring.
That's a very powerful ring.
Yeah, it is. I move forward, and because I have an action left, I'm going to heal with Cure Wounds. Wait, no, that was... Yes, okay, never mind.
Is that on
So
Alice?
11 points of healing.
That's on
for-
Alice.
Yep.
Very cool.
There we go. That's my turn.
And Severe, you just hear this little kid. You underestimate my power.
Oh my god, it's Anakin.
Does he have the power of God and anime on his side?
All right,
Probably.
I'm swinging at him. 22.
22 will hit.
That is some good rolls. 7.
Oh my lord. This kid is looking kind of sad.
Oh my god, you're killing a kid.
We were supposed to go hunt the Almirages, and I assumed they would still be more sporting than you.
And the kid just kind of grinces in pain.
Don't worry about that. I'll kill you before you even touch me next time.
I eat poison for breakfast without any milk.
Well, do you eat dagger?
And assuming that's the end of your turn, he will try and stab you.
All right, let's see it.
And stab? No
That
stab.
does not hit.
No.
He just tries his best, but you're a bit too high up. He kind of moves up
It's the
towards
high ground.
literally the high ground. He's trying.
I told you, it's Anakin.
Yes.
Now, this one back here will shoot the closest one, which is Alice,
Oh no!
with a crossbow.
Yep.
Oh no.
Hits for 8 piercing damage.
Yep. Yep.
Just
Yep.
hits you on the
feeling
side.
great.
This one is no longer here. Wait, did I just accidentally move someone? Nope, never mind. Shiro, you're up. Or rather,
I'm
Kuro.
gonna move up, and I'm going to shoot off a chill touch on the guy with the crossbow.
21 hits.
Is it a necrotic?
Ooh, that's a good hit. And you watch as, while he was trailing his crossbow on Alice, after getting hit with that spell, he's now pointed directly at you.
Not that I think it ever will matter, but he can't heal. And I am my turn.
Yes. Alice, you were up.
I disengage and run because I am not very tanky. And that is all I have.
Alright. And now this one, seeing you just run off away, will now attack Mana. Scimitar, dagger.
So the 20 and the 18 hits.
Hmm.
Sheesh.
That's 11 points of damage.
Oh. It's really nice the spiritual weapon is in concentration.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a blessing.
Very
Yep.
cool. Mana, you are up.
Well, spiritual weapon is going to come around and is going to slash him again. And I'm not sure if the spiritual weapon, because I'm a creature, if the spiritual weapon gets advantage. I'm not sure of that.
No, it is not. The spiritual
No,
weapon is not
yeah.
a creature in any way, shape, or form.
Ah.
It gains no benefits.
20.
Oh, damn. It's a
Ooh.
good hit. And this almost
Yes,
ethereal
and-
kind of sword just begins slashing away at this man in front of you, who is trying his best not to die.
And then I shall cast another Cure Wounds on myself, because he has 3 separate attacks in that. I don't want to get hit like that again.
Alright. 5 points of healing.
Yeah.
Severe, in front of you is this very wounded child, and I would say that you just slashed across his shoulder, and he is in pain. He looks up at you, just kind of carrying with him this small pouch of gold that he now has, which also look like just slightly a bit. There's something popping out, and you can assume that that is the scales that Mana gave him. As a child, he
Oh,
goes,
right.
If I leave this alone, you can have it. Will you let me go?
Oh my god.
Oh my lord. Okay. 17. No words, just slash him across the face. Holy. Okay. Is this non-lethal, or are you slashing his head off?
No witnesses.
Oh lord.
And that will be recorded forever.
Oh my god. You just
And how do you
just
kill
put our
him?
rating up to 18 plus. 'Cause you
That's
killed
the
a child.
For now-
Skywalker. There are too many of them. And
How do you kill him?
I'm just gonna carry him back up the stairs with
Yes. Describe vividly how you
Yes,
slaughtered
describe
a child.
vividly how you just slaughtered this kid who actively surrendered.
Yeah, well, Robert,
You guys are making it sound so bad, but he's literally a thief, okay?
Okay.
All right.
you know, I, think
I mean,
we
if you're
belong
asking,
in
I will,
jail.
though. That's
Can
all
we
I'm
go
saying.
back to jail, please.
Nah, he just comes back up the staircase carrying what looks like this now unconscious child, bleeding profusely from the side. All right, Severe. Anything else you'd like to do?
I think that's my turn.
Yikers. This one that was trailing his crossbow on Shiro or Kuro is going to shoot him in the face.
Shoot him in the face.
Will not hit. Just the crossbow bolt flies right beside you. Does not hit whatsoever. It is your go now, Shiro. Kuro.
I'm gonna shoot him.
All right. That will hit. And how do you? Wait, Dinky. He lives.
God, no.
Garbage.
I had my turn.
He lives and will try to shoot you once more. Alice, it is your go.
Oh boy. Let's run up here and try to poison spray him from across the little opening here.
All right.
So DC 14 con save.
All right, let me pull that up. No. He refuses.
Run away!
He just breathes the gas in. Doesn't care whatsoever.
Alice is suddenly regretting her edgy life choices.
As now, it is his go, and Mana, you will take the brunt of this attack. Does not hit,
God.
does not hit,
Thank God.
does not hit.
Oh my God!
Loser!
Wow.
You will not take the brunt of this damage.
He is struggling to hit an emaciated little girl
He is.
In armor.
in armor.
That is true.
Mana, you are up.
Cool. Since the guy on the far side is looking pretty bad, Spiritual Web is gonna fly all the way up and attempt to strike him in the face.
Secrets of Mana.
Secrets of Man.
Alright, go ahead,
Where?
roll.
19.
That will hit. Ooh, another big hit. He is
That's for a crossbow.
still very strong. Oh wait, that's for the crossbow guy?
Oh, the crossbow guy? Yeah.
Oh well, that just ends him. How do you do it?
Just pretty much clear decapitation.
Just sword quickly flies across like this sewer kind of gap, slashes across his head, and you watch as the head rolls down into the water, staining it red.
And for this one right in front of me, that was a bonus action. We are going to cast Guiding Bolt. Yeah. It's a 20.
Wait. Adjacent to him?
That is a ranged spell attack. Yes. Isn't that Isn't that with disadvantage?
Is it?
It is, because you're standing right in front of him.
So that's a 1. That's a nat 1.
Oh well.
In front of him, he just kind of raises up his scimitar, making sure that you don't actually get to cast the spell in front of his face, and pulls your hand right up to the ceiling. Severe. They are still fighting, although there's only one guy left.
Can I like pick up that kid's dagger?
Yes, of course you can.
Dude, he doesn't need it anymore. Why are you?
Actually cursed.
Does it still have that like goop on it?
There is still that goop on it.
All right, I'm gonna throw it at this guy.
All right. Let me just pull up the thing for that.
If it's a dagger, it should have the same as a
basically
hand
the
axe.
same.
Yeah, which I can.
It's
Except damage, I guess. Oh well, that's probably not gonna.
It is a +1, so that hits.
All right.
It's also +1 damage.
That is epic. In that case, I'll roll a d4.
And roll a 2d10 if he has to make a Constitution saving throw, because he is not immune to this. And he will take the full amount of damage. That's 18.
Let's go.
Wait, is he poisoned as well?
Yes, he is. As The
And
dagger
he's poisoned.
flies off towards him, just hits the side of this empty kind of cloth that he has, and the goop just pours right into that wound, and you watch as the wound goes slightly greenish.
Severe's just gonna hiss at him and then make his way over.
He is now poisoned.
Actually, no. Severe's gonna stay there for now.
All right, Shiro, you are up.
Well, gonna chill touch him.
15 is exactly his AC. Severe got a new dagger, but at what cost?
It was free.
6 will
Cool,
hit,
I'll stand
and
behind him.
he looks pained.
That is my turn.
All right, Alice.
Fuck it, let's try it again. Same thing. Where the fuck is the spell? Con save.
Ooh, more poison on him.
Yep.
Yeah, does not save.
Is he dead?
He is still alive,
Motherfucker.
but he's coughing a fit right now.
That's it.
Well, at least he has disadvantage on his attacks.
That's
He
true.
does, because he's poisoned. And he will try and just hit anyone that he can. This is on mana.
Disadvantage, baby.
22-23. Wait, no. 22-7
7.
and a 6.
So yeah, that 27's gonna hit.
27?
Or 22.
Oh, 22. Right. You take 9
Oh.
points of damage.
Cool.
As he just managed to slice you, although he's just coughing everywhere.
Uh-oh. Roll 20's lagging on me. I don't know why.
Uh-oh. It is, however, your turn.
Punch him.
Punch him. I claim self-defense.
Dude, he attacked me.
All we know is that you chased a kid down a hallway and you came back with a corpse.
What? Come back with a corpse bleeding profusely on the side. Mana? You alive?
Yeah. Yeah, roll 20's just...
Yes, roll 20 has been weird today.
Yeah, it's just shit in the bed right now.
They came for 5e
But-
tools, now they're coming for roll 20.
Oh no. Oh yeah, what happened with 5e tools? I tried checking it earlier and I could not get anything from it.
It allegedly has been nuked out of existence.
By Wizard of the Coast.
You can. Wikidot is an okay alternative.
There's I found mirrors of 5e that work for now.
Is mana back?
If it's... Yeah, if it's my turn, I'm just going to slash at him with spiritual weapon, and then for my action, I'll turn around and I'll attempt to pick up the what was it? The
The
Ring of Thorns, you called it? Yes.
That's what I called it because I am trolling.
Oh,
But
Alright. I shall roll for you if you want.
yes, please. Thank you.
Although you will have my luck, which is terrible.
Jesus Christ.
Like I said, you making me roll for it. It does not hit. And however, you do manage to pick up the ring, however. Although you don't know what it is exactly yet. Severe.
We're gonna send a poison spray on this guy. There.
Uh-huh. That's 10
Oh wait,
feet.
I have to get closer to do that. I will. Can I even get in range for that? I can
You
get in
can.
range for that. Yeah, I
you
can. I can go like right there, and I'll do it. Yeah.
Yep.
And if I can, I'll also pick my axe off of this guy.
Sure. That is a Constitution saving throw, and he will not make it. That's another 9 points of damage on him. He is still somehow alive.
Well, we can't have that, can we? Yeah, that's my turn then.
Alright,
right.
let's punch him to death.
Bludgeon him.
1d20 plus. Punch is strength plus proficiency, yes?
He's actually doing it.
Everyone's proficient with their fists, so yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
When I have advantage.
Please, crit.
120.
When
That'll hit.
I think how much does it just do your strength
just a-
modifier?
I think it's 1+ strength,
One.
right?
Yeah, it's just 1+ without the.
I punch him for 3 bludgeoning damage.
You just punch him in the back of the head. He just groans.
We are horrible fucking people.
This is why you were prisoners.
Maybe Chrome was right to send Alice away.
Alice, it is your go.
Oh
Punch
my
him.
god.
Gas him
Jim is-
again.
Oh no, you're
Fuck.
gassing and punching him. It's like a torture session.
What
Oh lord. You're not even killing him.
Oh my god.
Constitution saving throw.
Yep.
Does not manage to make it, and he is still alive.
Oh my god. Wait, let me see if I
He's
have
just
bonus
puking now. He's just like crying. Just got bonked in the head. Just skull is shaking a bit.
I headbutt him.
I was gonna say, because you have my helmet.
Fuck yeah, I don't have any bonus actions. Go on.
It is his turn, and then with that, he just kind of kneels and pleads for his life. Please let me go.
We can't
I
have
promise to
that.
turn over a new leaf.
Wait. Fuck. Oh, Jesus.
We
Severe.
can't have that.
Do you remember what you did with the pig?
Oh no.
Please let Severe have this.
Oh, wait. I'm gonna go get the kid.
What?
Oh my god.
I'm gonna use the kid.
Oh no! No, don't do this! Mana, it is your turn. He's literally kneeling now, kind of hands up, still poison running through him. If this battle ended just right here, he'd still probably die with the poison. He's just begging for his life now.
Punch him.
Mana is going to hold the ring around his chain, just really close to her face, and she's just going to say, "No," and then she's going to disengage and allow. If he doesn't die, that'll allow Severe to take this kill. However, Mana is going to put the ring on. Oh wait, hold on.
You put the ring on and you become invisible.
No.
It's the one
the
ring.
great eye sees you.
You have the sudden
Throw it
urge.
into the fire!
You have the sudden urge to live in a mountain and eat fish.
Oh no. But yeah, you put on the ring. Although
I would like to cast Detect Magic first, because I still have one spell slot left.
All right, go ahead, pop that for us, because I cannot remember exactly what it does. Use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object. What are you actually trying to do with Detect Magic?
Oh, I'm trying to learn what kind of magic happens to be around the ring. Just what kind of school. I know it's not doesn't let me appraise the item, but to just gain some basic information about it.
All right, that is. Let me just check real quick. Which one is this? It's an evocation.
Oh, okay.
Evocation School of Magic.
Well, considering the fact that the one next to me held it without a problem, Mana is just going to put it on. He's going to feel the urge
To eat
to wear this ring.
The ring wraiths are coming.
They will never stop hunting you.
Never.
All right, you put on the ring and you seem completely fine.
Cool.
Severe.
If this
No.
guy's going to do nothing but plead for his life,
Do it.
then I will get the dead corpse of the person who I killed in self-defense and make an improvised weapon attack against the man.
No.
Yes.
Oh no. All right, let's see. This is made with advantage.
Alright, sick. That's not even gonna hit.
Oh no.
That doesn't hit.
Eats the
No!
child into the water.
He eats the child. He like overestimates it, and he's too powerful. He just throws it right into the water. It just very slowly bobs up and down while it's flowing downwards.
Wait, you didn't get the coin first.
Alright, Metalhead looks like it falls to you. It's my turn.
Oh no! Why?
What the fuck?
He's gonna. Are you gonna punch it? Oh my god!
Yeah.
It hits.
3 bludgeoning damage.
He's still alive. He's still alive. He's still alive. Yo, please. Why? Yo, this guy literally is giving up. Alice, please,
Oh my god.
just kill him.
I'm gonna try.
He's literally crying right now. He's like, he's become Ball at this point.
Oh, God.
If he fails this,
Please let him. Oh gosh.
he lives. He lives. He's just literally like balled up right now, just curling into his knees.
Not to drag this out any further. A creature can willingly save or willingly fail saves if he wants to die.
He doesn't want to die. He's just on the floor, like cradling himself, like, please stop this. Yo, please.
We are so sick.
Mana, it is your go.
Someone fucking kill him.
Mana.
Punch him.
Mana is gonna. Oh god. Oh.
No.
Oh.
He's just cradling him. He's in the fetal position right now. Just like tears flowing down.
Vanna is gonna cast.
We get it! Oh my.
Punch him.
Kill him.
Vanna's gonna cast Blast at 2nd level, and he's gonna give it to Severe.
Ah, yes. Samir, you get to kill 2 very sad people. Oh no.
Let
Yikes.
Severe commit the war crime.
Severe, please.
Alright. I'm gonna go fish the kid's body out of the water.
You know, I'll let you do that as a bonus action. You find the kid's body just bobbing up and down in the water.
I'm gonna swing again.
You're gonna use his body as a sword.
Once more into the breeze.
You better kill him, man. Oh, that hits.
Come
That
on.
hits.
1d4, right?
It doesn't
fine.
kill him.
No!
Wait, plus your strength.
Yeah, I know, it's 5.
It doesn't kill him. He has 6 HP.
Oh my god.
Yo, please.
Jesus
Why are you dragging this out? You know what? If you guys want to, he just dies here.
Yeah!
Headbutt him to death.
Yeah!
Wait, no, Shiro is going next. Go ahead. Yeah, 20
Headbutt him
hits.
for 3.
Yeah, you just headbutt him and he just knocked dead. Just
Let's
dying.
go!
And as he kind of falls down, he looks happy that he's dead now. And you know what? I think that's a good place to end the session.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god!
Oh no.
That was so
I thought he had
productive.
less HP.
I thought he had way less HP than that.
I thought you guys would deal a lot more damage. You just punched the shit out of him. He didn't
I
die.
thought he was in punching range.
We are horrible
Lord.
fucking people.
He just gave up he gave up literally. Didn't do anything.
That was legitimately my first murder hobo moment.
It was self-defense.
I don't know if that was self-defense. Not gonna.
Okay, the first part was self-defense. The second part was stand your ground laws.
Oh,
my
no.
god.
Anyway, with that cruelty happening, that's the end for this session. And although I would say that this is enough to level you up, you're not really in a position right now that you can heal your HP. And now that I know that Roll20 doesn't like us leveling up where you don't get a long rest, I'll just do it when you guys have a long rest. But
Fantastic.
that's the end of this session for today. I hope you guys had fun. Yeah, I surely did.
Let's go.
I
It all went
cannot wait.
downhill when the kid died.
I
True.
cannot fucking wait to listen to this back.
Let's go.
So
Yikes.
I assume that from our cumulative murder hoboing that their loot is more than equal to the scales I chased after.
Yes.
I would
Okay.
also like search the kid for the I think he gave me the sack of the gold that he took from the guy, right?
Yep.
Alright,
As he
sick.
was reaching out to you, you just kind of cut him down.
All right, but I got the sack though of
Yes.
money, right? Sick.
Alright, let's just
Yeah.
leave.
Let's leave before anything. Alright,
Oh, fuck
that's the
that.
end of this session.